whether you live or work abroad for a short amount of time or for years. In today's video, I'm going to be making a list about how living and working abroad positively affects your life. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah. If you are interested in what life looks like living and working abroad, this channel is for you. Food, culture, people. These are three fairly common things that I hear or that I read about when people talk about how their lives have been affected since living or working abroad. Those are really great things, but I also want to encourage you to see beyond that. There are so many other things that can make such a positive impact of living and working abroad. In today's video, I'm going to list some reasons why I think that you should consider living and working abroad. Ah, the American dream. You go to school, you learn how to work for someone else, get a job, get married, white picket fence, 2 kids, a dog. Do you ever wonder, is there more? Is there more than just getting up, getting in your car, going to work every day, and bringing home a paycheck every 2 weeks? Wherever you are in your life, it is not the end all and be all of who you are, what you have to offer, or how much you can grow. Every single person on this planet has a value, a skill, or a natural talent that is needed somewhere in the world. Whatever adventure you create literally adds to who you are as an individual. My first job abroad in South Korea included my flight, it included my visa, a fully furnished 1-bedroom apartment that was paid for, a completion bonus, and a travel stipend. My only responsibilities that came out of my pocket was my cell phone, grocery bills, electric bill, and whatever travel I decided to take. The surplus of money that I had left over from my check allowed me to pay off huge amounts of debt that I had back in the States. With the exception of my student loans, within a year, I was able to pay off every single penny of debt that I had. So you have a sense of self when you move to a new country, and you're learning to navigate this country hitting the ground running. Finding out about the trains or the buses, finding out where the nearest market is and the nearest grocery store, how to find your way to your apartment, opening a bank account. You don't think twice about doing them in the United States. But when you learn how to do them yourself in a foreign country, that can be really, really empowering because you did it. You become this resilient person navigating this foreign environment. You are actually forming new habits that you can either take back home or to your next country. My experience being Black and abroad are as unique as they are really eye-opening. I've been hired through a placement agency. I've been assigned to a certain school. They don't necessarily want a Black person, but they can't discriminate because the contract is with the placement agency and not the individual. But the racism that I have experienced is not so much hatred as it is ignorance and what people think they know because of what has been exposed to them in the media. When I first started working at one of my schools, I was there from day one. My job coming in as a teacher before they had any clients was to give these demo lessons. Well, the general manager who I had just met that morning did not speak a lick of English. He would come and he would sit down next to me and he would type using Google Translate on his phone, "Johnny's mother really loved your presentation today. She's gonna sign up her son and her little brother." And I would be like, "Oh my gosh, that's really great. I'm glad to see that." And then his reply would be like, "We need more white teachers. Johnny's mother loves your presentation, but doesn't want a Black teacher." And he'd be like, "No Black, no Black." He didn't realize that it was offensive and he said it so calmly. I got that a lot. I got that a lot for the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 months that the school was open. And the reason that I am smiling is because this story does have a happy ending. This is all about perception, right? I could spend the next year at this school being angry, mad, calling someone who's racist, who doesn't even know that they're racist, to try to make them understand, or I can do something about it. So I decided to do something about those parents that didn't want me near their kids because of my skin color. Within 3 months, I became the highest scoring teacher in that entire province. Within a year, I became one of the top 10 performing teachers in the entire country. And then after that year, I was promoted 4 times. My center became one of the highest grossing centers for new students coming in. So now people are coming out of curiosity, and I find that they are being more open because they're curious about what I'm doing. Vietnam taught me a lot about myself. Holy shit. There's nothing more eye-opening about learning about the country that you come from when you hear it from somebody else's perspective. I have had conversations about what people think of America and how they feel that America has affected them. The opinions that people have are like, it's just all over the place. Interestingly enough, most of the conversations that I've had with people abroad are really inspired by America, and they have perceptions and ways of seeing America in a way that I would never have considered because I'm American. It's opened up some really great dialogue. So whether you stay for a small amount of time or you stay for years, living or working abroad actually adds substance to your resume. So let's just say that you have gone abroad for a year and now you're coming back and you want to apply for a customer service job. For one, your resume is going to stand out. All employers are looking for people with good hard and soft skills. The hard skills are things that you had to be taught. You stand out because maybe some of the hard skills that you had to learn was another language, computer skills that you had to learn in order to be eligible for the job that you had abroad. Your soft skills are going to be off the hook. You have learned to have an individualistic approach to communication, your ability to adapt to a new situation, your ability to remain motivated in a foreign environment, time management. The list for soft skills can go on and on, but you have obtained these skills in a unique environment called a foreign country, and these are traits that are now part of you that you can either take to your next job or to the next country. Depending on where you want to live in the world and what kind of contract you have negotiated, your cost of living could be significantly lower than it is, let's say, in the States. That's because in some markets you'll be paid more than what the average living wage is because of who you are, or what talent you have to offer, or what skill you're bringing to a company. So for example, in Vietnam, off the top of my head, my expenses were rent, electricity, internet, groceries, market, motorbike rental, gas for my motorbike, cell phone, and gym membership. That all came out to a little bit under $400 US a month. Oh Lord, the habits that you pick up living in other cultures. There's some habit that takes me forever to break that is just pure comedy for my friends and family. I might be bowing to people as they walk by. Someone might say hello to me, and out of habit I respond, ni hao. The hardest habit for me to break on my most recent trip home in July was the contact tracing system that Taiwan uses for you to be able to access public spaces like the grocery store or the supermarket. So before you go into the grocery store, you have to have your phone, and there's this QR code, and you have to scan the QR code to say, I have been here. So if anyone reports being exposed to the coronavirus, the government then sends you a text that says, hey, we just wanted you to know you were at Starbucks at 9 a.m. and someone reported a positive case of coronavirus in your area. Please quarantine for 14 days or go to the hospital. These QR codes are everywhere. The first time I went to go fill my gas tank, the first time that I went to the post office, the first time that I went to the grocery store, I am standing outside of the grocery store with my phone looking for the QR code. And eventually it took my sister saying like, the hell are you doing? And I'm sitting here thinking nothing of it. You know what I'm doing. I'm looking for my QR code. We can't go in without a QR code. I can't go get gas without a QR code. I can't get into Starbucks without a QR code. And then I remembered, you're in America. You don't need no stinking QR code. So I'm kind of glad to be back in Taiwan. I am almost finished with my quarantine. And by the way, if you want to know what a day in quarantine life looks like in my luxurious 300 square foot hotel room, click this video.